What is going on, guys? Welcome back to Quick Sticks. Matt, James, and Sam are back. How we doing, boys?
Good.
Very
What
well.
up? What up? What up?
It's been a while since we podcasted. I think since
Big
playoffs.
news.
I don't even know if we did a championship episode, but it's been a
Big
long
question.
time.
We are back.
We are back. So we wanted to do a quick little episode tonight. Obviously, huge news dropped today. If you guys didn't watch live, Paul was on ESPN announcing the home cities for the PLL. Initial thoughts. I know we've reviewed the home cities.
Uh,
Do you guys like the locations? Not like them? Just overall thoughts.
I like it. I like it. I think they delayed the release a little too much. I thought that was a little overdone. But no, I like it. I'm happy with the logos. Most of the cities, I'm definitely happy with. I think, like I will always say, the fact that so many people were mad means people care. So good thing for the PLL.
That's true. I saw way more comments on the ESPN post than I was expecting. Like random
Yeah.
people just chiming in.
Yep.
Um, yeah, overall, I think it's good. I was shocked by a few choices, but which we can get into later. But overall, I think they made good choices that will have positive effects downfield.
Agreed.
Yeah, I think when they released the list of like 20 or 30 cities, I think most people kind of could pick out eight that were going to. But I agree. I think there was one or two, not necessarily city names that were surprising, but one was the Outlaws coming back. I had heard a lot of whispering about it, but
Yeah.
I want to get y'all's thoughts. So I was kind of torn on this because I feel like since the PLL merged with MLL or acquired them, I think they acquired them.
Yeah.
Required.
I feel like since that happened, Paul has been preaching we're not the MLL, we're different, whatever, which is great. So I'm kind of torn because I love the Outlaws uniforms, the team name. They had a huge market in the MLL. I get it, but does this kind of look bad on Paul? Are you guys indifferent?
Um. So
Yeah. Go ahead.
So I'll say short term, I don't like it. Long term, I don't think it'll matter at all. I think this is going to be a non-talking point in a couple years, especially as this league gets bigger. But I think short term, yeah, it does look like you went back to your ex for a little bit, but I don't know. I feel like Denver has such a market, not to mention the amount of old heads, I'll call them, that's going to pull back into the league who are huge Denver fans. So I think net positive overall, but I think over the next year, this is going to be like a lacrosse argument kind of thing. Samwise?
Yeah. I feel bad for Chrome fans because I feel like, for the last 5 years they've been your team, and just to see them kind of out of nowhere just not be a team anymore. That sucks, but I also get the business side of it, which Paul kind of did an okay job explaining.
Sure.
He kind of made a reference to like relegation and didn't rule out Chrome coming back as a team and an organization. So I think if anything, they're just like they didn't really see a fit for like city or state and then Chrome. So maybe
Sure.
they're just saving it for an expansion and then like bringing it back for something like that. So it was shocking, but I kind of I see it positive overall downfield because Denver is such an awesome market for
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, me too.
Yeah, it did. I agree. It did feel. I think the Chrome is the worst name of any of the original team names. But they did just feel like kind of they didn't know where they belonged. Like even the color combinations, like black, blue, and pink. It was just I don't know. They were just kind of the oddball team out there.
Yeah,
And then like they were terrible, and then they got really good, and then they choked, and it was just like I don't know. So I feel like it's gonna benefit the actual team just having like a rebirth. But
I agree.
um, I agree with what you said, James. I think it's kind of like paying homage to an MLL team. Like
Yeah.
it's not a total middle finger to MLL, but
Right.
I mean, when you go to Denver, you see still like outlaw stuff in public. So I mean, like you
100%.
said, there is an existing fan base that he's now tapping into. So I think
Right.
long term it'll be a good thing.
Yeah, and I mean, let's be real about this. If the Chrome win more than one game, or they win that playoff game 2 years ago, they're not out this year. So
No chance. No
no
chance.
way, no way. Win that playoff game you're in, or don't. I'm looking at like the stats from last year, man. It's just there was a big drop off. So
Yeah.
that's what you can do.
So real quick, let's do who's our winner and our loser with home cities announced. Sam, I'm going to start with you. Who's your winner?
I think the winner is Carolina Chaos. I think that's an awesome market for. I mean, we've been to Charlotte, so, and I think Paul confirmed like it will be. I think in that Charlotte stadium that we go to, like that's their home stadium.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably my winner. That's my winner is Carolina Chaos. That opens the market to the south, and I think there's just good connections to the city overall, and I think you can expand in there. So there's a lot of room for expansion for that team. I think it's going to be awesome.
I had the exact same. I had the Chaos. I really did not think Carolina would get a team. Pleasantly surprised as a Raleigh citizen. I'm stoked. They are going to keep playing in Charlotte, but there's always a chance because you have the whole state. There's a chance they could play in Raleigh, which would be sick. So, if DC didn't get a team, I wanted Carolina to get one. So I'm glad that there's one.
I'm a little surprised. You're surprised, Matt. I mean, if we're talking
I was shocked.
Growth for cities, man. I mean, Raleigh, Charlotte, right there. It's a great place to be for a new team.
And I mean, you were talking infrastructure right before we started recording. So yeah. Charlotte. I mean, the state absolutely has the infrastructure, so it's a 100%. Good market. And like Charlotte showed out every time we've been there. Like every stadium's pretty packed. So I mean, that didn't surprise me. I thought they were going for like. I didn't know if Paul was going to go strictly like true major cities, like Miami, Chicago, which wouldn't really make sense. So
yeah.
I guess I shouldn't be that surprised, but it was just.
I wish they would have committed to the cities though. Like it is kind of like I get the Carolina, but like I do wish they could be a little bit more forward with like it's Charlotte, like I don't know, like Charlotte Chaos or something like that,
I mean that's hard because like the Panthers are just Carolina Panthers.
I always forget that.
Yeah,
so you just like not care about Raleigh? I'm confused. Do you not care about the triangle? We're the heart of college basketball.
That's true. That's true.
We have the Hurricanes. We're the capital of the state.
Hey, yeah, fair. Fair. It was a medium take for me, but it's just
I do agree that Salt Lake City would have been cooler than just Utah. California Redwoods, we knew that was going to happen. It's too big of a state to pick a city, and California Redwoods just rolls.
I mean,
what they are.
I get
that. James, winner.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So my winner is man, I was about to actually change it at the last minute, but I gotta say Water Dogs.
It is good city. Great city.
Not only is it like really cool that they're going to Philly, but they're going to Philly at a time where Philly sports is just hot right now. So I think all of it together is, timing couldn't be better. I mean, obviously we have the Eagles, one of the best teams. The Sixers right now look like they're past obviously the Harden phase and Maxi's here. Then they're getting a brand new lacrosse team. It's just a good time to be a sports fan in Philly. So I got to give it to the Water Dogs.
God, thank God we're recording this. I'm gonna play that shit every morning when I wake up.
I mean,
Question: if Michael Sowers is not on the Water Dogs, do they still get Philly?
No.
I don't think so.
I think that.
No, I think this was like Sowers, you want your vote? And he was like, okay, sounds good, appreciate it. You guys have little kids doing my move. Like, let's move along.
I'm pretty sure he was the #1 selling jersey
100%
in the league, and it's probably majority Philadelphia people.
100%. So like, I know it sounds outrageous because the PLL still has a lot of room to grow, but people need to realize we're going to be playing at these like college-y soccer stadiums. So they have to think about the logistics from like airports because people are eventually going to be flying to these games. Imagine trying to go to one of these games in the stadiums 2.5 hours from the airport. Like they had to bake that into this discussion because
that's true.
No one's going to go to a game if you have to trek 2.5, 3 hours, which in some states that's kind of how it is to get to these stadiums. So they had to think about that. So as far as big airports, infrastructure, all that kind of thing, I think it's bigger than just lacrosse. I think people need to remember that.
Yeah, and I think that plays into a lot of the talk we've seen, the negative talk. People in the Midwest are understandably very upset, didn't get a team, but I think I get why they're upset, obviously. But to your point, I think Paul tweeted a couple minutes ago, like, please realize how hard of a decision this was. Like, to your point, this was bigger than just like, where do we want to put a team?
Thank you.
It's
Thank
like you have to do actual planning, logistics.
Yes.
And then to your point, like, Paul has to be assuming there's going to be a time where lacrosse is so big they're playing in NFL stadiums.
Yes.
Chances are it's not going to happen for quite a while, but you have to plan for that. So
Exactly.
where are they going to do that in the Midwest?
Right. Or like there is a reality where these guys have like a lacrosse stadium for both the men's and the women's, like at one place. Because obviously, like building one of those is not like building a football stadium, much smaller. So where's the room for that? Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So it's a lot. It's a lot more than just that. But no, I think they did it right. And as I said at the beginning of our pod, if you're gonna say that Paul did something wrong, I want you to respond in that same tweet with where everybody should have gone. What's the correct answer? Because no one's gonna have that. At some point, he was gonna piss somebody off. Like he was.
Yeah.
Like, it's like being the president. At some point, you're gonna make a decision. Half the people are gonna hate you. Half the people love you. Just gotta do it.
Yeah, that's very true. James, while we're with you, let's get your loser.
Wow. I'm not trying to have any
Uh-oh.
hot takes. So I think the loser's upstate New York. I really wanted them to get a team. Even if it would have been the Chaos, I would have been okay with that. Like a Buffalo or whatever. I understand that we do have a team, but it's not like centered around. I think I'm trying to in some way pull in some of like the Canadian and Native American, that kind of thing. Like it would have been nice to kind of like have them grouped into a team. So I wish they would have gotten a little something.
Albany Atlas.
You said it, not me.
Would have been cool.
Would have been cool.
Sam, who's your loser?
Preston Fields.
I'm gonna say
I can come back to you if you want.
whip snakes. It just wasn't very like, I don't know. It seemed obvious. It wasn't shocking. I didn't like their logo rebrand. I didn't really get the logo rebrand for a lot of these places. Like I get the colors for for them, but they could have kept the logo. It didn't really seem like it needed to be changed. Same with the Atlas. I think the logo was fine beforehand, so it just seems strange. But my loser, yeah.
That's with the Atlas?
Huh?
They changed that much with the Atlas?
Yeah, it's like
fair amount. It
I
kind of
think
looks a little cartoony now.
too
Oh,
cartoony.
I see. Okay. I'm looking at like a zoomed out picture. The zoomed in one.
That one was fine. It was totally fine. Like,
Yeah, bring your shirt up to the camera. Let's take a look
short,
at
shorten the horns a little bit.
Also, wash that shirt. Sam, I gotta say, man, I think your whip snakes take is horrendous. I think it's more centered around the jersey and the color, right? Like, is that what you're saying?
I guess not centered around like the choosing the city. Like I think if you were following the PLL for the last 5 years, you kind of and following everything on social media, you kind of knew. Like I kind of knew they were going to Baltimore, the Maryland area.
Yeah.
So it wasn't that. It was just like for me, because I like everything else that kind of happened. Every other city, I think it made sense, and there's not much to, I guess, complain about from my point of view. But
agreed.
The whole rebranding of the re-logo building of the whip snakes just didn't make sense. I love the old logo, and so it kind of just didn't make sense. Like they changed it to change rather than there needing to be one.
I mean, actual reason. That's fair. That's a fair take.
So I actually had whip snakes as well, but it was solely because I'm assuming they're going to lose their color combo.
Yeah, it's.
I thought those were probably those lids with the snakeskin was one of the coolest designs I've ever seen in my life. If they can keep that, but so losing the aqua green and red, I think is a bad. I mean, it sucks for the whip snakes, but their colors are black and red now, and I'm like, that's chaos. So that's the only thing I don't like is I feel like their uniforms, depending on how they're done, are going to look exactly like chaos.
I think the whip snakes uniforms are going to look similar to the Maryland lacrosse stuff, which is like a little more yellow in there.
I mean, that would be cool, but their logo is like 90% black. So
Yeah. No.
But-
I mean, they can do a lot with these. I think Sam's last take was the most spot on. Some of the changes just seemed like, hey, we need to change this because we're doing a bunch of other new stuff. It's like, no, a lot of the stuff you
Yeah.
guys had before was awesome.
Yeah.
Now, this also sets up for us to have a week of like throwback unis, which that's
Sure.
going to be really cool. That's just
that
gonna
would be sick.
Yeah.
Best city team name combo. Sam. Best and worst. Let's do both.
best and worst. Okay.
I hate to say it, but the Philly Water Dogs is just a good team name.
It is.
It is a
It
good
hurt
team.
you so much to
It,
say
it
that. I
is.
could hear
It is. Like it's
It
just
is.
it's just fact. You can't even be mad about
I
it.
also like runner up is Boston Cannons just because like history team. I like how on their logo it says like established 2001 and all that. So
Okay, that's gonna be cool.
That's tight, yeah.
And then yeah, James.
What's your worst?
The Utah Archers just doesn't sound that good. Like
That was mine. Zero swag in that.
Zero
Utah
swag.
Archers.
yeah, it's not. There's not really a good ring to it, but
It's not it.
Yeah, you know what? I think I actually might have to hop on that. The alliteration isn't great. It's just
It's
not,
so bad.
not there. I think as far as marketing and such goes, that the Redwoods and the West Coast and the come on, man.
Genius.
Like, come on, man. Like I
Yeah.
feel like they all sat down. They were like, California. Like, okay.
They were like, let's go ahead and check this one off.
Yeah, right.
I said the best sounding one that just rolls off your tongue is Baltimore Whip Snakes. That just sounds like it's always been a team to me.
I don't know, man. I gotta throw Carolina Chaos in there. That flows.
Carolina Chaos.
It's
Like
like
that.
that-
The
like
double
that.
C is
That's
That's
unbeaten.
like it's smooth. It's very smooth.
It's so nice. So let's talk divisions because that was the other big change is now or conferences, I guess. I don't know how they're phrasing it, but 4 teams in the East, 4 in the West. Sam, I know Atlas Water Dogs are both East. Somehow Carolina got in the West. I'm not sure how that works, but that's not my decision. Do we think an East versus West All-Star game is coming at some point?
100%, and I hope so too.
Yep.
Big fan of that.
100%.
Right now, who wins, East or West?
Bro, what is this?
In overtime, East.
Damn. Always with the OT take.
We're like a year or 2 out from this, and Sam's like, it's an overtime game. 100%.
Definitely OT. With all the injuries next week, like
I mean, I feel like there will be some trash talk.
I'll answer the question. You didn't answer it yet?
Yeah, I think East maybe it's a high score. That's an all-star game, so that's like 2019.
All right, but like it's not an
Yeah.
all like hold up. It's like the situation we're building is like a real game, not like all-star game vibes. Where like you like kind of half care.
Like 200 NBA points.
Well, that's what I'm hoping.
Talking about like a real game.
They input something like I think what baseball does, like whoever wins gets home field advantage.
Ooh,
like
I like that.
East or West, right? Like they put like an actual stake at
Sure.
so people just don't goof off the whole All-Star game, you know.
Sure.
I like that. I think I don't know. I said East right away, but now that I'm looking at the West, I'm like, damn.
I mean, it's close. I mean, they
You
got
got
the
chaos.
Archers.
Yo, let's be
Archers,
clear.
Raiders.
You guys are saying that the Archers offense with Blaze in net is going to lose.
That's what I'm saying. Like I have a hard time putting the pieces together. Yeah, but think about all the players you've got in the East. You got the Water Dogs offense. You've got
Bro,
Dylan
I'm
Ward.
not taking anything away from the people in the East. I'm literally saying we have the best goalie and
But
the
that's-
best entire offensive unit in the whole league. Those are like 2 very, very, very important parts of a lacrosse game.
But I'm saying you're putting the Archers offense against the combined offenses of the Water Dogs, the Whip Snakes, the Atlas, and the Cannon. Like just the Water Dogs and the Cannons.
Right. All teams who lost to the Archers, correct?
Okay.
These are all teams that you're listing teams that lost to the Archers already.
So
in
if a
this-
team loses to a team once, they're just done.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. That's such
I
a
don't know what you said.
That's such a Twitter take, dude. We're so much
That's not a Twitter take. That's
horrible.
facts.
That's horrid. Oh
So
my-
teams have never split series in any sport ever.
Wasn't saying that at all. I'm literally saying, as far as this league, the Archers beat everybody this year. Not only did they beat them, they dominated the league.
The
They
combined
dominated.
offense of the Cannons and like when the Archers beat the Cannons, they didn't have Dylan Ward in that.
Right. So what I'm saying is we have the championship team in addition to this collaboration shit that you're saying. We have both.
And so does the East.
Okay, and like, do you guys have a championship team on your side from last year? No.
From 2 years ago, we do.
2 years ago. Okay. All right.
Not that many changes.
We beat the Eagles 2 years ago. Like,
Who did?
oh my God.
I once. I mean, there's a face
All right.
mask on the fumble.
I
But
hope-
we don't
I
have to
hope
talk
they
about it.
do-
It's fine. It's
I
fine.
hope they do. I hope they do this game.
No clear recovery my ass, but
There was not. Okay.
it's fine.
I'm not gonna get it.
So last thing we want to talk about is I want to ask you guys, what does this mean for the PLL moving forward? Are we, because I think I could be wrong. I think the PLL is expecting a like surge from merch sales, ticket sales, everything. I think in my mind, I think the Rabels and like the board was thinking the home cities were the only thing missing. I do think it'll have those effects. I just think it's going to take a lot longer than the PLL thinks. But I could be wrong.
Can I say something to what you just said though?
Yes.
Why do you not think that they're thinking about that? You just said at the end, you said longer than the PLL thinks. Why do you think they're being overly positive about how long this would take?
Well, so I think that like, so we've been talking about home cities since the birth of this league.
Correct.
So, and I think it's good. Like anytime someone down here asks about the PLL and I tell them I'm a Water Dogs fan, the first question is, oh, where are they from?
Sure.
So adding a home city, I think does give you that level of respect of like, oh, this is the PLL. It's the professional lacrosse league. It's not like this thing that's on ESPN 4 that you can see.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, like, think about how much money is being invested into this.
Yeah.
Like, not just the merch, the actual home team, but like just the scheduling of stadiums. Now you have to schedule, these home stadiums every year.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think
That's fair.
I think they're being optimists, which you have to be with a thing like this. But I don't know. Like, I just don't think just because your city has a lacrosse team, if I'm a normal, like average person, like I'm not gonna be like, oh, look, we got to go see this team. I think the sport has to get bigger first before they're like consistently selling out stadiums again. I don't know. I could be wrong. That's just my thought.
No. That's hard. So my take on like the overall, I think it's good, Matt. I do agree with you. I think it's going to take a little bit, but I think there are, we're all from Northern Virginia. We're from the suburbs. I don't think we really understand how much more people who live in cities kind of ride or die with that. So I do think there's a percentage of the population that as soon as their city, state, whatever got a team, like their entire personality is every sports team from this area I am a fan of, regardless. Like, like DC United, like people started going to DC United games. Obviously, some people care about soccer, some don't, but it's like, it's a DC team. They have a DC stadium. Let's go. So I feel like that's going to happen a lot. I think a lot of people who are in these home cities, like Bryce, shout out Bryce, who's going to become kind of a fan of chaos just because it's right in their backyard. But just like I said before, I think there's a bunch of people who are like, it doesn't matter. I'm still going to be a fan of my team. They're still doing the tour based, so I think that's cool. But I think it's going to be kind of awesome that all of lacrosse right now is having those conversations. Like, where are you from? Who did you like before? Who do you like now? And it's more sports banter, which is good.
Which that'll be a conversation for sure.
Right.
Go ahead, Sam.
I mean, that the tour-based concept is, I think, a saving grace of them moving to cities, because, like what James just said, like those guys that feel like their team was taken away and not given to a city near them, like, or vice versa, an opposite team is near them, they still get to see their favorite team at least once a year in that city. So I think overall it will. I think this is more of a strategic move to set up the South and hopefully like maybe an Atlanta team or a Florida team, hopefully, and then Carolina goes from being a team in the Western Conference to the Southern Conference or something like that, right? And then out of nowhere, I think they chose these places as much to grow and survive as a league, and then they're hoping to expand into those Midwest towns, probably in the next expansion, which I think is going to be much bigger than we expect. It's not going to be like one or one or two teams. I think it's going to be like 4 or 5 that they're just
Wow.
going to throw out.
That's
Because we see, and I think the reason why they're going to do that is the pool of players that are in the player pool every year. That, like, the amount of talent that comes out of college and has nowhere to go, that can support 5 new teams in the PLL. Like, I think there's enough people out there and enough talent out there to just grow this league exponentially. And I think we just have to wait maybe like 1 or 2 years to see how well the cities do. I think it's going to be super soon.
Yeah. And I mean, on top of that, Sam, the U13, U14, PLL youth stuff, like they're bringing a whole generation of guys who are going to really try and strive to go to the PLL.
I mean, yeah.
You know what I mean? And on top of that, we all work in software. Like they are right now doing analytics on the places that feel like they got gypped. So now they know possible expansion team, this place has more fans than we realize or whatever. Like they're playing those analytic games today because obviously it's a long term. And last point is, I think they did choose Carolina because Carolina takes care of a lot of the South. Because something I learned when I went to school there is like between those states, like a lot of the teams go interchangeably. Like a lot of people are Braves fans who are in North Carolina. Yeah. Like, yeah, you know what I mean? So I feel like they get 3 or 4 states just because Carolina itself kind of like spreads to a little more of the South as far as professional sports, for sure.
I mean, just having Carolina, you've already captured 2 states just directly.
Right. So that's an easy capture. Not to mention, like we talked about, the growth of Charlotte and Raleigh right now. I mean, I think Raleigh's the #1 growing city right now. No?
Correct. Probably.
Yeah. So #1 growing city, you got a lacrosse team there. I think that's just it's an easy pick.
Yeah, well, and going back to what you said earlier, James, like I hope you're right that there are people that adopt chaos in Charlotte just because they're there. Like that's what I want to see in a few years
100%.
is when we go to Charlotte, like I want to see everybody's team represented, but I want the majority of fans to be chaos.
Yeah.
Like I want to see red in the crowd because that's how it should be.
Right. Like
so I hope that happens.
The day that we're on the podcast and we say like, oh, they have to go into Baltimore and play the Whipsnakes, like we're going to know that the league made a big jump because like everyone knows like when you play at this place, that means something. And like the league obviously is not even close to being there, but the fact that it could is really exciting.
Yeah. That's gonna be a good time.
That's gonna be cool. I told Bryce the Whipsnakes opening game is going to be crazy. That home game is going to be nuts. Every Maryland lacrosse player is going to be there in their jersey. It's gonna be insane.
Yeah, that's a good point. They're probably the winners just for that reason, because that's going to be a true home game in the PLL.
Yes, like
you're going to have people being like, "I will kill you if you don't take off that Atlas jersey."
Yes, like in the tailgate parking lot, those mini sticks teams could be high school teams. Not kidding. That's not a joke.
I think another take I had was I think it's a little scary with whoever got the New York market. Like that's an immediate boost to contracts, to player recruitment. I think a lot of that. So
whoever got the New York market, as in Atlas,
whatever team, and Atlas got it. But
it is your team.
It is my team, and I'm hoping that we benefit from it, and we don't turn into the Jets or some organization like that. So
wait, are the Atlas the Jets? Oh, they're the Cowboys.
You already called them Cowboys. Come on.
It's interesting though that Atlas went to New York, and like at a high level, New York looks like the beautiful city and nothing's wrong, and you kind of dig deep and realize
there's no chemistry in that city.
That's what I'm saying. There's a lot of things they need to fix, but it looks good from far away. I'm just saying.
What if Ball came out was like, oh yeah, that's why we picked New York?
Yeah. He said some mention about like the bull on the logo being like a reference to that big brass bull in the financial market or wherever it is.
Sure. Stocks, NFTs.
Yeah, which is like, whatever.
It's a little bullish, but
nice.
So the joke is
gonna collapse on itself.
Finance bros, all those finance bros about to become Atlas fans.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Are you guys shocked or upset DC didn't get a team, or are you kind of okay because Baltimore got one?
I'm hopeful that it will get a team.
For sure.
Because I think it is a good market.
I think it's like kind of hindsight though, because like if the Atlas or one other like the Whip Snakes, Water Dogs came to DC, like it would put me in a really weird position. Because like I really don't like as much as I love the Water Dogs, I don't want to just jump from my team kind of because I have to. So it's kind of nice. I don't.
So just to be clear, you guys rolling with Chaos and Atlas no matter where they ended up?
I was.
I was ready. I was ready. If DC got a team, I was ready.
You're gonna jump ship.
I was ready to jump ship.
I respect that honestly.
I was happy to, if we got a home team, to finally have a home team to like call my own, which would be awesome. So.
Oh right, because you're a Bears fan. Gotcha.
Yeah. You knew that was coming. You knew.
I know. I did.
Or Patriots.
Still, that was. I was ready for that, but when it didn't happen, you know.
If you guys would have won the championship, I wonder if this conversation would be the same.
Facts.
No, the conversation would not be the
same.
No. So just being brutally honest. Yeah, I was the same. I think if as long as the Water Dogs were remotely close, I was going to stay with them. If they had gone to like Utah or California, I'd probably adopt Chaos.
I mean, did they have to like kind of talk the PLL out of Philadelphia? It wasn't like the pitch was for Philadelphia. Everyone's like, all right, that's
I
agree.
Anybody have anything that can like rebuke that? Like, come on, man.
I mean, there were people last year saying like, I can't wait till the Water Dogs come to Philly.
100%.
But I think a lot of that has to do with Michael Sowers.
100%. A lot of important people in Philly. And I think the Archers with the Utah, like their jerseys are going to be really sweet. I know like the names don't fly, but the jerseys with like mountains and stuff, that could be really cool.
That's true. I didn't think about that. That could be cool. But I can't say I'm a fan of these new logos though. I will say at least for the Water Dogs and Atlas, because those were the ones that had like the big changes.
Yeah, the big change ones are bad, but the other ones obviously like not terrible.
Yeah. Some of them just felt like they just changed it to change it, and I was like, all right.
Yeah, it looks like
we're changing everything else. Let's just change the logo.
Yeah. It's like how they like modernizing like fast food places. It's like, dude, just leave McDonald's. It doesn't have to be like.
That's what I'm saying, dude. That playroom.
Like, come on, man. Hair still fit you. All right. We're gonna like skim Twitter and kind of like relax talk and see what people are thinking, and then I think we should try to get Bryce back on here to talk about this.
Yeah, the newest Chaos fan.
Yeah, I mean
/ Archers. Yeah,
he was Archers fan. All right.
He was.
You don't see that a lot. Team winning the chip, and then you just switch teams.
The thing is, like, Bryce is one of the people I'm talking about, man. He's like so Carolina.
Yeah, well,
like,
I mean,
you know what I mean? Like he's,
but he's also so lacrosse.
He has some takes that
Bryce is winning right now.
Haven't held up. What do you mean winning?
He gets a home team. Chrome is eliminated.
That's true. We're not going to get any more Bryce Chrome takes. Damn.
Yeah. Wow.
That sucks.
Wow. Yeah, actually, he's still gonna he's gonna be like, this team is so bad, the Chrome not even existing. Like, okay, all right,
5 years.
All right, Bryce. You
guys remember the Chrome? Wait. They would beat this team. That's how bad it was.
Is it? And all the players from Chrome are just becoming Denver Outlaws, right?
Correct.
If they break the law, yeah.
I know it's a dumb question.
I would assume so.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay.
Yeah. 100%.
That'd be really weird. They're like, all right, guys, thanks.
What if they do NHL expansion? They get to pick one player from each team to add.
Dude.
Not Blaze.
Yeah. We'll take Blaze. We'll take Mac O'Keefe. Could Cannon? You could stay.
Yeah. You can only player protect 2 people. Everybody else is fair game.
That would be hilarious.
Dude, that is a tough choice.
Wait, hold up. So what 2 players are we protecting?
Exactly.
Blaze and Burn.
Huh? Blaze and who?
Josh Byrne. Sorry, Josh Byrne.
Oh, for sure.
Easy.
Zach Courier and Michael Sowers for sure.
Yep.
Sam's got a harder conversation. Trevor
Baptiste, obviously.
And who else? Yeah, that was and who else?
And
no, I wouldn't say obviously. We've seen that no face-off guys work.
Sam,
dude,
do you know how bad your team would be if you didn't have Trevor Baptiste?
Dude, are you serious?
Are we doing this? This is gonna be a 2-hour episode.
So it's Jeff Teat and Trevor Baptiste.
Okay, that's
the right answer. Yeah,
that's a very good answer. My God, I've never felt like my teacher.
Who else was in that conversation?
That's what I'm saying.
Chris Gray.
No. Not
Bro,
over Jeff T.
you're not protecting Chris Gray, man. He's really good, but come on.
You're right.
He went like 4
Yeah,
weeks.
it-
before.
This dude was
it-
about to let Trevor Baptiste walk. It would have been so bad next year.
So to be clear, with
Jack
your
Uncanny.
high-powered offense, now that you guys have to go against Trevor, you guys are going to now beat that team. Come on, man. Thank
No,
you.
he can't be with us. He can't be with anybody.
Okay, time to end the episode. That's it.
Yep, I think that's it.
Wrap it up.
That's all we got for this week. We'll probably be posting a little more semi-frequently, but glad to hear Home Cities are finally here. Like James said, we'll be all over Lax Twitter, so feel free to argue with us. And we'll talk to y'all next episode. Peace.
Peace.